Before you book your next tour or shore excursion, you're going to want to hear a little bit more about Viator and how it can help you on your next trip. Let's start with, what is Viator? Viator is a platform for tour companies to put their services onto so that travelers can find their tours more easily. Viator is not a tour company themselves, so you will never take a tour with Viator. You'll be taking it through a company like Live Tours or City Wonders, but Viator makes it easy to find local companies for your trip. So instead of Googling thousands of tour company options, they've made it really easy for you to find those local tour companies, but also have the benefits of having a large company who helps when things go wrong, as well as offers great perks like specific features, which we'll talk about a little bit later. Let's now talk about how you use Viator. I have an affiliate link in the description below, which I greatly appreciate if you use to book your Viator tours. That will help me continue to make more helpful videos for you. Just make sure you see my name, Maria B, up at the top, and you'll know that you're using my affiliate link, which again, I really appreciate. You'll then put in the city that you're heading to, or you can put a particular attraction if you're hoping to, for instance, visit the Rome Colosseum. You can put in your dates, or you can skip that step. Next, you'll see hundreds of options to visit either that particular site or options within that city. One of the things I like to do to narrow it down is under the filters feature. You can put the duration that you would like, whether you know you're looking for a tour to be maybe around 2 hours. Maybe you have a budget in mind of what you're willing to spend, so you can put what price you're willing to pay for this particular experience. Then you can select what ratings you're comfortable with, whether you want the overall ratings to be 4.5 stars and higher, 4 stars and higher, or 3 stars and higher. Just be aware that sometimes if it is a new tour company or a new tour offering, that even if they just have one review and it's a 5-star review from that one person, you are going to see that. So make sure you're checking the reviews. We'll go over that a little bit later as well. Then you can select what language option you would like your tour to be in. I'm going to select English. Then there are some other special features that you can add as well. One of the features I've used before is a likely to sell out. That means that that particular option is popular and that people really enjoy it. So sometimes I'll select that one. And you may also want to select free cancellation, just in case your plans change and you need to cancel your trip or your tour. Now we've gone from hundreds to just 100. And this is where I typically start digging into what all is going to be offered for each tour, as well as looking at the reviews. So I'm going to select one. I see that it has 551 reviews and 5 stars, but I also am going to want to make sure to read the reviews down at the bottom. You can put in what date you're hoping to do the tour, then how many travelers you'll have with you. Then when you check the availability, you'll then typically see if there's different start time options for this tour. And one of my favorite features that Viator offers is the reserve now and pay later feature, as well as the book now feature. With reserve now and pay later, you can reserve the tour with the current pricing, which typically the further out that you book, the cheaper the pricing is. So you can select reserve now, pay later. Then make sure that it's still selected whenever you are in the cart. You will have to put your credit card information in, and they will bill you typically 2 days before the tour starts, or you can go in and pay for it before then if you'd like to go ahead and get that out of the way sooner. But again, I do like to check out to see what's included, making sure it does include what you're hoping for. Check out the meeting point, because sometimes it will be somewhere that you might have to train to or get to in some way, so you'll want to make sure to plan accordingly, as some tours will start in a location that works well for your trip, and sometimes you'll want to keep looking to see if there's a different tour that has a better meeting point for you. You'll also see where the end point is. Some tours will end where they began, and some tours will end at a different location, so also make sure that that works well for you and you know how you would get back to where you need to be or where you're going next. You can check out a more detailed itinerary with the different stops that they'll be going to, and one of the things I like to check here is to see if the admission is included with this particular tour. Sometimes admission is included in tours, sometimes it is not, which means you would have to pay in addition to the price that you're seeing. So I do like to do tours where the ticket is already covered. That means that they're going to be responsible for getting my ticket for me, which I love because that's one less thing I have to worry about booking for my trip. Make sure to also check out all of the additional info. This is sometimes where you'll see specific ages are allowed, or whether or not this particular tour is wheelchair accessible. As you continue to scroll scroll down, you'll also see their cancellation policy. So for instance, this one says that you can cancel up to 24 hours in advance of the experience for a full refund. This, again, is one of the reasons that I like to use Viator instead of booking individually with companies, because oftentimes individual companies will not have a great cancellation policy or they will be non-refundable. So by booking with Viator, you're more likely to be able to cancel 24 hours in advance and get a full refund than it being non-refundable. Another thing that I like about using Viator is they accept most credit cards. If you're traveling to Italy, you'll learn that a lot of people do not take Amex in Italy, but Viator does take Amex. So that's another reason that I like to use Viator instead of booking with the individual companies, is because I can use whatever credit card I'm hoping to use. I have a Disney Chase card that I have seen on their Chase offers discounts for Viator, like 5% cash back. So make sure to check your credit card offers before you start booking your tours with Viator, because you might be able to get an extra discount that way. I do like to also check out the traveler photos. This sometimes helps me get a better understanding of where the tour goes and what to expect from this tour. You can find some of the reviews there, but I do like to go all the way to the review section and then change the sort by to most recent. Sometimes a tour company will have old reviews that are either bad or good, but you'll want to see what are the most recent, because maybe they have a new manager and they're doing a lot better than they used to. So by finding the most recent reviews, you're able to see what you're more likely to experience based off of how that particular tour company is doing with their tour guides. Now you might be thinking, I want to visit these attractions, but I don't need a tour guide. And I'm here to tell you, especially if you're coming to Europe, you might want to rethink that, because not only do tour guides have to pass rigorous national exams, they must be registered in the national list of tour guides. In the United States, it feels a bit like anyone can be a tour guide, but in Europe, it is a bit different. You are going to get a guide who is an expert in where you are and what you're seeing. You'll be able to ask them any questions that you have, and they oftentimes get a special line at the different attractions. For instance, in the Vatican, there's a really long line for those who just have a ticket to go inside. Meanwhile, for the tour guides, they have their own separate line where they bypass that really long line. I highly recommend booking a tour if you're hoping to visit one of the main attractions wherever you're traveling to in Europe. Now, Viator offers promo codes every now and then, and they'll often send those to travel advisors to let them know what those codes are. So if you are going on a trip soon, please comment below something like, is there currently a promo code? And I'll let you know whether or not there is a promo code currently being offered and give you that promo code in the comments below. To add this promo code, you'll simply select enter promo code, fill it out, select apply, and then if you have multiple tours within your cart, it will apply it to whatever tours that particular discount can apply to. There will next be a section where you might or might not have to fill in each traveler's name, as well as if you have special requirements. For instance, if you're taking a food tour, which I highly recommend for every city that you visit if you're visiting Europe, this is where you will put anything that you might be allergic to. Put it in the special requirements, and then that tour company will get those details and can plan accordingly. On the last step, this is where you'll see whether you can pay now or reserve now and pay later. You'll see what you'll be charged and on what date. Then you can either put in your credit card details or use PayPal. And once you have that information filled out, you'll then select reserve. You'll be emailed a confirmation, and as your trip gets closer, the actual tour company that you've booked with will message you through Viator, but it will be an email that is sent to you. If you're visiting Europe, sometimes the tour company will contact you through WhatsApp before your trip. So make sure the phone number that you put in the contact details whenever you're booking it is the same as your WhatsApp phone number, and make sure you have WhatsApp downloaded so that you don't miss any details that they might be trying to send you last minute. For instance, my husband and I did a tour to the Palace of Versailles, and there were massive public transportation delays happening that day. So they contacted us, letting us know that the tour guide was on their way, but that with the delays, they were going to be a little bit late. Once you have your booking details, you can often reschedule if something happens and you need to change to a different day or a different time. Though just know that by changing your day and time later, it can change to whatever the pricing is that day instead of what it was whenever you booked. So just be careful with that. One more thing I wanted to mention is if you're going on a cruise, you can find shore excursions through Viator. Simply put in the port that you'll be visiting and then shore excursions afterwards. Then you'll see a list of shore excursions available in that port. Make sure to look through all the details, and sometimes it'll ask you more details about your particular cruise so that they know how to check for when your particular cruise ship will be in port. But this can be a great way if you're wanting to do something that's a bit different from the excursions that the cruise ship is offering. This can be another great way to use Viator for your future trips. I do personally use Viator whenever I'm planning a trip. Some of my favorite tours are highlight tours, where a tour guide will bring you to a lot of the different highlights within that one city or area. And I love doing food tours because you're able to sample a lot of the local cuisine without having to get a full entree's worth. Food tours can help you know what you do and don't like regarding the local cuisine, so you don't end up wasting money on an entire entree for something that you don't like. And it's also a great way if you don't have a lot of time in a city, you'll still be able to experience a lot in a short amount of time. I'm going to include some links to my favorite tours in the description below, and you can find some on the itineraries on my website, so make sure to check out those as well. And if you'd like help on your entire trip, don't forget you can click on the custom itinerary tab and learn more about how I could help you with your entire trip, no matter where you're planning to go. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, I hope you have a magical day.